Hey guys, we're going to go over our worksheet assignment for sector area. Have your worksheet ready to go, or your separate piece of paper if you're not able to print it, and make sure you have a calculator ready to go. Okay. Do your best to think on your own and not just copy what I'm doing. Okay. That's how you're gonna learn a lot better if you do that. Okay. So let's get started. So here's our worksheet. I'm just gonna do the odd problems. Okay. What is the measurement of angle S? Okay, so let's take a look here. So angle S is right here, this angle. Okay, so that angle, so I can see that this triangle inscribed in the circle, I can see that the diameter right here is the hypotenuse. Okay, which means that that's 180 degrees, which means that this angle that creates that arc must be half of that. So that's an old review problem, okay? So the rule is if that hypotenuse is the diameter, it means it's a right triangle, okay, which means that that angle has to be 90 degrees then. So that's 90. Okay, let's move down to problem number 3 here. I'm going to go quick, okay, because I got to make this video, it can't be too long, all right? So you can always pause and rewind if you need to. Number 3, the radius is 33 feet. Is TS tangent? Well, if it's tangent, that means that this is a right angle. Okay, it said the radius is 33 feet, so I'm going to label that 33 feet. Well, if that's 33, then this portion right here must be 33 as well. So I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem here to prove if this is a right triangle or not. If it's a right triangle, then a squared plus b squared must equal c squared. And we'll check to see that it does. So our legs are going to be a and b, so 33 squared plus 56 squared must equal, I'm just going to add those two together. So 33 and 32 make 65, so 65 squared. So go ahead and punch that in your calculator and see if that's true. Okay, I got 1089 for that. 56 squared is going to be 33,136, and that should equal 65 squared, which is 4,225. So let's see if those add up. 1089 plus 3136. Yep, that does check out. So since that does check out, then that means that this is a right triangle, which means that TS is tangent to it. So it says write your final answer as a complete sentence. That's what you would write. You would say TS is tangent to that circle. Why? Because it has to be by definition, because that's a right triangle. All right, let's go down to number 5. Here we go. If the area of this gear is 29 pi centimeters squared, what's the radius? Okay, so it's just talking about the whole area of the whole thing, which is a full circle. So we know that the area of a circle is pi times radius squared. They're giving us the area, so I'm going to plug that in for the area portion of the formula. So I'm going to say 29 pi equals pi times radius squared. And then it says, what's the radius? So I'm just going to solve for the radius. Well, how do I get the radius by itself? I can divide by pi, and that'll eliminate that. I got to do it to both sides. So that gives me 29 equals r squared. And then to undo a square, I'm just going to square root both sides. So the radius is the square root of 29, which is approximately, if you punch in the square root of 29, it's probably going to be like 5.4 about. Okay, so 5.4 centimeters is what the radius is about there. Let's move on. Let's go to number 6. All right, so the pizza has a central angle of 42 degrees. What is the area of the sector? Okay, so you guys should be doing the same thing. Area of a circle is pi r squared, but if we only want the sector area, that's this portion right in here. So I need to multiply that by that central angle over 360, what you guys just took notes on. That's the only difference, okay, between the last problem and this problem. Okay, I'll let you guys do that one on your own. Let's go to number 7. The pizza has a central angle of 83. What's the area of the slice? So same exact type of problem as number 6. So I want to find the area of just this sector right here. Okay, so I'm going to do area of a circle, which is pi r squared, but I only want that certain sector, which is going to be the angle over 360. Okay, I can see that the radius is 10 and the angle is 83 degrees, so I'm going to plug those in. So pi times 10 squared, 10 is the radius, times 83 over 360. Okay, now remember you can give me your answer in terms of pi, or a lot of times it's just easier to estimate. I'm okay if you just estimate the answer. So let's clean this up a little bit. 10 squared is 100. 100 times pi is 100 pi. So now we have 100 pi times 83 over 360. Remember, 100 pi is just over 1, so if I multiply these together, 100 times 83 is just 8300, and then of course we still have pi over 360, and now we just need to get a calculator to estimate that area. So the area is approximately, go ahead and punch it in your calculator and see what you get. 8300 times pi equals, and then I'm going to divide that by 360. Okay, I'm getting 72.4 approximately. So 72.4, and it looks like inches. Inches squared is that sector area right there. Okay, number 6 is the same type of thing. Let's go to the back side, number 9. An extra large pizza with a diameter of 12 is divided into, or a diameter of 22 is divided into 12 equal slices. What's the area of the pizza? Okay, so the area, well, to find the area of the pizza, it's just pi times radius squared. I'll let you guys do that. So remember, they give you the diameter. This is not the radius, it's the diameter. Remember how to find the radius. It's going to be half of that, so our radius is going to be 11 for this. So all you got to do is plug it in there. And then the area of one slice, well, if it's cut up into 12 equal slices, the full circle is 360 degrees. So if I divide that by 12 equal slices, so if I draw a pizza here, let's see, there's 4 slices, there's 8. So if I did that again, I might get 16ths. But you can imagine 12 equal slices, so all of those angles have to be the same in the center. So if I do 360 divided by 12, that's going to be 30 degrees. So each slice is going to have 30 degrees, because 30 times 12 slices is 360 degrees. So if I'm going to find the area of just one of those slices, let me erase this here. So if I find the area of just one slice, that's 30 degrees. It has a radius of 11. So I'm going to do pi r squared times theta over 360. Okay, so that gives me area is pi times 11 squared times 30 out of 360. 11 squared is 121, so 121 pi times, I can cancel those zeros out, I can divide it both by 3, so that gives me 1/12 if I reduce it, and then if I just multiply straight across, I get 121 pi over 12. And then I can put that in my calculator. I know I'm writing all over the worksheet. You guys obviously just need to stay in your area over here or use separate paper. Let's punch that in the calculator now. So 121 times pi is that, and then divide it by 12, and I get 31.7. So the area is approximately 31.7 inches squared is what each piece is. If you're able to eat 5 slices, how many square inches of pizza you eat? Well, you're just going to take 31.7 and multiply it by 5 then, because that's 5 slices. And that should give you that. Alright, let's go on to the next one. How many, let's see, 11, here it is. The beam from the front headlight of a submarine is a distance of 30 meters. So they're saying that this distance right here is 30 meters. and it spreads to an angle of 38 degrees. So 38 degrees, you could even put the 38 out here too, it doesn't matter. What is the area covered by the light? Okay, so that's sector area, it's not a full circle, so I'm going to say the area of a circle is pi times radius squared, but we want the sector, so we're going to multiply it by theta, the central angle, over 360. Okay, you can see 30 is the radius, and then the angle is 38 degrees, so let's just plug that in. So pi times 30 squared times 38 out of 360. 30 squared is 900, so over 1, so that gives me 900 pi over 1 times 38 over 360. So I'm just going to do 900 times 38 there, and then times pi. So 900 times 38 times pi gives me a big number, and then we have to divide that by 360. So you should be getting 298.5. So that sector area is approximately 298.5, and that's going to be meters, square meters. Remember, area is always square units. All right, very good. Moving along. Go to number 13, which is right here. A windshield wiper, okay, is 50 centimeters long. That's our radius. One sweep covers 118 degrees. What's the area of just what the windshield wiper covers? So again, they just want this portion. What is that area? That's sector area. That's not a full circle, but we're still going to use the circle formula, but then we're just going to multiply it by the angle over 360. So this time the radius is 50, so pi times 50 squared over 1 times the angle, which is 118 out of 360. All right, so let's see, 50 squared is going to be what, 2500, so that's 2500 pi times 118. Sorry, that should be there, times 118 over 360, that's over 1. Okay, so now's where the calculator comes in. So you're going to punch in 2500 times pi, and then times 118, and then you're going to divide that by 360. You should be getting 2,574.4. So approximately 2,574.4 square centimeters. That's the area of that sector right there. Finally, question B, and this will be the last one. What would be the area covered if the windshield wiper was lengthened to 58 centimeters? Okay, so basically we're doing the same exact thing, but then now the radius is 58 instead of 50. So I'll let you guys do that. It's the same exact formula, but in the formula there, instead of that being 50 right there, we need to put a 58 in there instead, and we're just going to calculate the same exact type of problem. It's just going to be slightly different. This 58 just goes in there for 50 instead. And that's it. Question 14. A little hint, if you're solving that by factoring, move everything to the same side first. Okay, look for a GCF. If you don't have a GCF, factor it. Use your grouping method. So the eye chart to factor it, then set your two factors equal to 0, and then solve for x. All right, I got through all the odds there. If you guys have any questions on the other ones, let me know. Thank you.